I'm going to demonstrate a Venezuelan guasacaca sauce. You can serve it with chicken that's roasted with carrots, or you can serve it on fish. It's very similar to the other sauces that I'll do today, which is I'm going to demonstrate later. Anyway, so it's a bright and creamy sauce with avocado. So you have to first pit your avocado. And this one's easy. You get a spoon and scoop. Put it into a blender. And to get the pit out, I just go like this and twist it. Get a zester. There's different kinds of zesters you can use. Zester. And get my juicer. I think I have another juicer. So I like this one better. Juice your lime, and I think that one did a better job. I'm a sucker for appliances that I can buy for the kitchen. Okay, so I would add half a cup of olive oil, extra virgin. Put all the olive oil out. I don't like to waste. My mom had an olive tree that her Italian neighbor would get the olives. Okay, put in the blender. And so you put in rice vinegar, about 2 tablespoons. Let's see. I don't add a jalapeno. You can. Makes it more zesty. But I don't think my family likes jalapenos too much. So you cook according to the taste of the people that live in your house. Otherwise they'll refuse to eat it. So I will get my garlic clove. This is how I get the skins off of the garlic. One big garlic, but I'm accused of killing people with my garlic. It's good for the heart. It's a good antioxidant. And then you chop it up. A little salt and pepper. This is about half a teaspoon. And pepper. I like to use the pepper medleys, different little ones that are mixed together instead of just the total black peppers. I like to buy these at Target. Magnolia from Julia Gaines, my favorite cookbook author currently. Then you pulse it. Now I add Italian parsley and cilantro, which I have to clean. Maybe a little at a time since it's so much. You only need like half a cup. I like to pulse it. You have to move it around a little bit because the stuff has to go to the bottom to get blended. If you have a food processor, it works just as well. I just happen to have the blender out on the counter all the time making smoothies. It's a good way to use your greens that you have left over from any other types of cooking that you've done in the last week. Okay, I think it's done. Now this is a Venezuelan guasacaca sauce. Every, I guess, nationality has its own version of sauces. It looks like a pesto sauce, doesn't it? But pesto has garlic and pine nuts, and this one has avocado and lime and cilantro and Italian parsley with salt, pepper, and olive oil. So just clean it up. That's your sauce. You can serve it with boiled potatoes. You can serve it over different kinds of meat. If you want to do it ahead of time, just leave out the avocado until you're ready to serve, because it does brown. And let me try a taste. Nice and creamy. Very good. If you have extra Italian parsley or cilantro, I just freeze it and then I serve it when I make any kind of soup. I just add it in frozen and it adds to it. Or if you make porridge or whatever, you can add it on top. I'm going to make ELAINE KAUFMAN'S Fettuccine Alfredo. It serves 6. I use 2 pounds of butter, salt, 1 clove of garlic, finely chopped, 1½ cups heavy cream, 1 large egg yolk, 1 pound of fettuccine, and I'm going to substitute spaghetti because I have spaghetti on hand, and 1 cup of freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese with ground pepper to taste. Okay, so I'm boiling water right now. It's about, I guess, 6 quarts of water, as long as you have enough for your spaghetti noodles. So you wait till it boils. We can take a look at the boiling water. And you put salt. You'll season your spaghetti or your fettuccine, any pasta, with salt. So you just put a generous heaping of salt, and that's just to flavor the pasta. And I put a little bit of Italian olive oil, extra virgin, to the water to keep it from sticking. And when you're making fettuccine Alfredo sauce, I always use a little bit of the boiling water with the fettuccine. It's unsalted butter. I like unsalted, and I can salt my food later. And now I'm going to chop a clove up of garlic. I'm going to separate the egg yolk and the egg white. You just do this. I usually do that. So it's all white here. The yolk is in this half of the egg shell. So I turn on the flame, and now I have the butter and the garlic clove just melting. Do this for 2 minutes until it's all heated up. I'll put the cover on, and I will whisk the whipping cream with the egg yolk. I have to find a bowl. Egg yolk. Whipping cream. Use 1½ cups. Whip it up. Okay, it's nearly melted. How's the water doing? It's not yet boiled. When it starts boiling, like a round boil, you will put the spaghetti in it, which fettuccine is just a thicker version of a spaghetti. So you use 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 small clove of garlic, 1½ cups of heavy whipping cream, 1 large egg. Now I can add the whipping cream and the egg yolk. Smells nice. Like most cooks, I don't measure too much. And that's about 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. I have it on low. Fettuccine Alfredo is a very good side dish when you make chicken or you make steak. See, it's gotten really thick. It's a cream sauce. When you go to Italian restaurants, they charge $15 for a serving of fettuccine Alfredo. Okay, now it's a rolling boil. You can see the water. You can show the picture of the water. When it's in a rolling boil, you get your spaghetti, which I get a handful. I put it in. And then let it boil again. I'll leave it in one place while I take it out. So you have to keep testing it after a few minutes. It's just put in, so it's too hard. Give it a few minutes. It's like 11 minutes. 10 or 11 minutes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the other dish we're making, which is called chicken cacciatore. And I'm going to leave it on a low boil for the cream sauce. Okay, so I'm going to salt and pepper the chicken that I've already washed. It calls for only 6 pieces, but the package obviously has more, so I'm going to salt all of them. I use kosher salt, so I turn it upside down and do the other side. I'll have to do this in batches because I'm using my cast iron pan. Cast iron pans are a little better for heating. You can make steaks out of them. And when you use regular pans, it takes longer to heat. Whole peppercorn medley. So you just salt and pepper your chicken. Olive oil. Make sure you have enough to coat the whole pan. Some people who are Italian, they throw the spaghetti against the wall to see that it's cooked, but I never do that. Okay, so I'm going to heat the pan up first, and then I'll add the chicken. Okay, I'm going to cut the onion, a small onion, a bell pepper, and 2 bell peppers, 1 red, 1 yellow. It's okay. Red and yellow bell peppers that I need to wash. Take it, record the bell pepper like this. And then I wash out the other seeds. So there's some seeds in here. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Let's see. I like to put it skin side down first. Doesn't matter which way to make it brown. Try how your pieces of chicken. Now get your onion. Cut them in pieces. Bell peppers. I like them in big chunks. You make them in little chunks if you like them little. Try to get them as fresh as possible. You go to the grocery store. There's Sprouts, there's Ralph's, Chinese market. I'm going to put the onions on top. I've already washed the mushrooms with my special mushroom brush. to get all the dirt out. It's a box of 8 ounces of mushrooms. So just chop them as thick as you want, and I can put in thick. You can use any kind of mushrooms. You can use Cacciatore, you can use regular button mushroom, any kind of mushroom. I think my spaghetti is ready, so I'm going to put it in this container. Yep. You can tell it's done. It's al dente. Perfect. Oh, the chicken, when it's fried like this, you fry it for at least 4 minutes aside. Usually at least 8 to 10 minutes it should be done for cooking. Okay, like I said, I use the pasta water, a little bit of pasta water with my fettuccine alfredo just to smooth it out. That's a secret that restaurants use, and with the chips. So this is your side dish of fettuccine alfredo. It's already been kept on low. Just add it on. And there's your fettuccine alfredo. You can serve it as a side dish with your main dish. So that's your fettuccine alfredo. It's finished. I'm going to teach you a side dish for small potatoes. So in the same water that you boil your spaghetti noodles, which is over there, you can use it to continue to boil the small potatoes. So you test the chicken to see if it's done. It has to be brown. And it's brown, but I want it a little bit darker, so I'll leave it on a little bit more. Now I'm going to teach you how to make pesto sauce. And you can do it with your fettuccine alfredo. You add your pesto sauce, it tastes wonderful. What I do is I'm going to move the mushrooms to another container. And I'm going to wash my basil. So I take my basil leaves and I clip them with my fingers. Kyle says to do the small leaves, leave the bigger ones so that you can continue growing them, which we have some in our front yard. I got this the other day, so some of them are a little old. But you just clip them with your fingernail. Leave a few large leaves so it continues to grow. You don't have to use your scissors for this. You want about a cup. I'm going to get my other basil plant from the front yard and use those because I don't want to deprive this entire plant of all its leaves. I can have more pesto sauce another day. And now I'm going to continue getting the basil leaves off the plant. And let me turn the chicken over. Just about as brown as I want it. I turn it over to the other side another 4 minutes. Nice and brown. And make it pesto sauce, which if you add it to your fettuccine alfredo will be a pesto fettuccine. So that's about a cup. Now you get your blender. You want to add a little water because you don't want to blend it without some liquid. Olive oil, Italian olive oil. About half a cup. Put your basil leaves in. Then you get your garlic cloves. You want to chop them up a little. Not really necessary because it's in the blender, but then you get your pine nuts. I buy pine nuts. They're very expensive. You can substitute walnuts if you want. About 2 tablespoons, so one tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 2. Parmesan cheese. I just need maybe 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. Put the cover on. Oh, salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. I guess three little ones is 1 teaspoon. So. About a teaspoon. Now I just close it. And it has this nice green sauce, and that's called pesto sauce. Now if you add it to your fettuccine, it's a pesto fettuccine. So this is your basic pesto Alfredo sauce with spaghetti instead of fettuccine. Now let's check the chicken. See, is it done yet? Pretty much done. So let's take it off the stove. Now I want to cook the vegetables. So what I want to do, the mushrooms, the carrot that I have to peel and slice. Here. So since I have 4 carrots, I say 1 carrot, but they're small carrots, so I might as well use them all. Okay. This is my vegetable brush, my crusty vegetable brush. That you want to keep the skin on for the nutrients in the carrot. And I use this to wash my vegetables. You see it's green, it shows it's for vegetables. It's not for the washing dishes. I leave it in my drawer. I don't leave it out on the sink to wash my dishes. So this is my vegetable brush. Cut the tops off of your carrots. And you do the same thing with the bottoms. Take them off. I like to slice them a little on the diagonal. You can do them in the coin shape. Diagonal is prettier. As long as the kids don't choke on them, make sure they're small enough. But after a while, when they're cooked, it should be okay. They're pretty soft. Now I take all my vegetables that I cut up earlier. I'm going to fry them in that oil there. It's going to splash. So make sure I get a cover ready to cook the vegetables. 6 cloves of garlic in the oil. I like garlic from Gilroy. I haven't visited my mom. I usually buy a braid and it lasts me a long time. So this is from the grocery store. Just coarsely chop them. They don't have to be that finely chopped. Turn it up a bit. You add your onions, your peppers, your carrots. Later on you add the mushrooms, but they cook fast. So you don't need to. Okay, now I'm going to do the green goddess dressing. I have to wash the vegetables. So I'm going to wash the... You want to keep the Italian parsley for the chicken cacciatore, and the rest you can dump into your green goddess dressing. This is my cilantro. They can also be used as a garnish on top, so use them on top too. remember I said that I leave the blender unwashed because it's almost the same ingredients. Green goddess dressing, you can use any kind of greens you like. So use Italian parsley, I use cilantro. I don't know how all these other living ingredients. I use chives, some chives. Wash. I might try to plant this, see if it grows. This is dill. I happen to like dill, so I use dill in my green goddess dressing. With this, I use mayonnaise, about half a cup. I want half a cup of mayonnaise. Of Greek yogurt. You can use sour cream. If you want a lemon, squeeze a lemon. It works better to squeeze the lemon. You can leave the skin. Oh, don't drop any seeds in. You can leave the skin for zest, which I want to do some zest. Some lemon zest. Use a small size. Don't get it to the white part, but just get the skin. Gives a nice fragrance to your green goddess dressing, which I'm going to serve with the boiling potatoes and hot there. Let it fall in, so it looks like this. Now you just top it with a little salt and pepper like usual. So now I'm going to add the mushrooms. Stir them up. Let me get maybe I better pulse them a little bit. It takes a while. You can use a food processor, it probably takes a shorter time. But it's supposed to be a nice green sauce you can serve with the potatoes, serve with pasta, serve with fish. Nice dressing. I think we need some more lemon juice. You have to do it to taste. It gives you the liquid that you need. Okay, that's your dressing for your potatoes. You can eat it with anything really. Pour it on top of salmon that you've baked. Green goddess dressing. Vegetarian, obviously. I clean as I go. Try not to make too much of a mess, so when I serve dinner I don't have to clean any dishes. I'm going to put a cover on my green goddess dressing so I don't spill it later. Now I'll check my vegetables. It's pretty much cooked down. I'm going to add some seasoning now. I'm going to cut my Italian parsley and gives a lot of flavor to chicken and turkey. So that's about a teaspoon of, tarragon, not thyme. So shot. Okay, now I use my Italian parsley. And I'm going to cut it up. You can use it in chicken soup too. Italian parsley. And I'm going to have to transfer this because I don't think I can fit everything in one pot, so I have to get a bigger pot. Now, put your chicken inside. Vegetables. The meat juices are very fragrant at this moment. Very good. A can of 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes and rolled tomatoes. To the Italian market, Claro's, and get crushed tomatoes if you like it from Italy. I just get the American crushed tomatoes from Sprouts. You can get them from any grocery store. Now, I also like to get tomato paste, 2 tablespoons, and that gives a specific taste to the kitchen cacciatore. If you don't cook with it, without it, it doesn't taste right. And you 2 tablespoons, and then you use it for maybe if you make meatloaf. 2, 1, 2, and 150 milliliters of red wine. It's about 2/3 cup. 150 milliliters of red wine. See how they're pretty much melded together? Does it look beautiful? Look at it. So this is good for company if you're entertaining. It tastes pretty good. People like it. Chicken cacciatore is actually called a hunter's stew. I guess the hunters in Italy made this. It makes sense. You take your wild vegetables and your herbs, your wine, your chicken. Try to take out all the oil. Let the pan cool before you wash it, otherwise you're going to burn yourself. That's basically a recipe for chicken cacciatore. I also like to add olives, but Kyle doesn't like olives, so I leave it out. And let this cook for another 40 minutes. Oh, if you feel like it doesn't have enough sauce, look at it here. I just go into my pasta water that I also boil my potatoes. And you see, it has a little bit of sauce to it with the red wine. And that's your chicken cacciatore. You have to just let it cook for another 40 minutes and then you're done. And when it's done, we'll show you how it looks. Okay. Done. A little bit of green goddess dressing. You see how it tastes. Potatoes with vegetarian green goddess dressing. It's created in some famous restaurant. I don't know why they call it that way, but it's a famous story. Very nice. I'm going to take out the potatoes. You can also serve chicken cacciatore with rice, like rice. I have 3 Roma tomatoes. Now we cut them up, add them to our chicken cacciatore. Oh, let me add the extra pieces of chicken. Cut off the ends. I need the ends. Pieces. Tomatoes have a lot of vitamin C. I cut out the green part because there's a green part. Dice them up. Then pick out the green part. I don't like the green part. Dice it up. I imagine since they're called Roma tomatoes, they're probably from Italy and maybe from Rome even. I have to look that up. Tomatoes cook very quickly when you're raw. Okay, with these sliced Roma tomatoes, I'll add them to the pot. Also reminding people, make sure you get a spoon and you stir your chicken cacciatore. Make sure that tomato paste is well distributed so it has good flavor with the wine and the tarragon and the Italian parsley and pasta water to make it a little bit more liquid. Yeah. Okay. Chicken cacciatore, I add oregano, just a bunch for flavoring. You can add dried oregano or fresh. Since I got a little dried oregano. Rinse it out. Just chop it up for flavor. It's nice. The dried oregano. You add about a teaspoon. not taking out very well, so that's why it's taking longer. The recipe calls for 6 pieces of chicken thighs, but since the package came with 4 more, I'm going to add it to the chicken cacciatore. And it'll cook up total 40 minutes. A little longer since I'm adding this in. And you know I like to recycle things. Whenever I go to get pizza, I have these crushed pepper flakes. So I just use them up in my chicken cacciatore. It calls for, I think, half a teaspoon, so 2 packages is about half a teaspoon. And that's just for flavoring. Recycle everything. Most of the time people have red pepper flakes after eating pizza. Finished product for the chicken cacciatore. I cook it in my Le Creuset oval pan. It's large enough to serve such a large quantity. While you weren't looking, I cooked the other 4 pieces of chicken because there were 10 in a pack. It only called for 6 in the recipe. And so it's pretty much fall off the bone with all the vegetables melded together. So it keeps, and even the next day it tastes very good. Like I said, the tomato paste and the wine and the oregano, I use the fresh and the dried versions of oregano. And so that's your chicken cacciatore, which you can serve on rice, but in this case I served it with the potatoes and guacamole sauce. And I also made the other green sauce that was made earlier, and then the pesto sauce, kind of a green theme today. But all these sauces are vegetarian, and you can serve it with either meat or fish, or in this case, any kind of vegetables that you grill, or you like boiled potatoes or carrots. Anyway, that's my cooking class for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy cooking. Bon appetit.